man thing, yeah?
Hey, that's gangster.
We are live, guys. I'm J1 Further the Cyber Nerds,
Revenue GS.
Mr. Blitztech.
and we're back with more Mandalorian discussions. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit the thumbs up and press the notification bell so you can get notified every time we drop a banger. But you should subscribe twice as much when these lot drop a banger and then we drop a banger right after it. Now, if you want to watch us scream for 32 minutes, head over to patreon.com/the Cyber Nerds, because I can definitively say this is one of the greatest episodes of the Mandalorian series to date, which also produced one of the greatest trailer episode reactions from the Cyber Nerds in the history of cyber nerding. Not the Cyber Nerds, in cyber nerding. You see what I did there? The whole timeline. Get me? So yeah. Man, where are we starting with the episode? Like, what do you want to talk about?
First of all,
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers.
Best 32 minutes we've had in Star Wars in a minute.
Come
Thank
on.
you very much.
Come on.
Bruv, I ain't gonna lie to you. My chest is on fire, bruv. Like, the adrenaline, I haven't felt like this in a very long time when it came, like, whatever it is, whether it's movies, TV series, my chest is pounding because we've just been through 32 minutes of Mandalorian greatness. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we was in Mandalore today. We was there. We went through the training, went through the law, we went through a mission. It's mad. I loved it, man. Absolutely loved this episode. Where to start? I guess the camp just the way they've just set up this episode right from the beginning, having everybody in the camp training. We've never had this before, and just really hey guys, this is where we're at today, and this is where we're gonna take you. Like, I just absolutely love that. Like, even like Grogu coming to training with the other foundlings, the things that were being said about what did he say about something about knowledge, knowing something to speak.
You've got to know. You've got to know to speak, like, basically. So if you don't speak, you don't know. Therefore, you can't be breaking the creed or the code. Which,
thank you.
Like, it's just fire, man. It's just fire. Like, and like, if we're talking about, like, and one of the things, okay, since you started on culture, the Mandalorian culture to me is so cold, bruv. Like, it's equally as just fire as I'm gonna say the Sith and Jedi culture, and I'm putting them two together because there's not one of those without the other. Do you know what I'm saying? And the Mandalorian, what they've been doing in the show for 3 seasons and more in Rebels and Clone Wars and since Star Wars started, is telling us that Mandalorians are some of the sickest people out there, fam. And I feel like the culture that they put into this episode is so legit and so needed for where we are going, and for like the arc of all of the characters that we're watching. And that's one of the things that I love about, like, this episode it pushes everybody forward. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's just so tough, bro. And leaves some more questions.
Like 1000%, bro. Like, even when Jin brings in his Grogu, and it's like, yo, he's turned to fight, and then he brings out the ref, and then the ref is even having the conversation, yo, like, what weapons we're using? Jin's like, yo, let him choose. Like, the mannerisms is, bro, like, it's, yeah, man, great, man.
Yeah, the thing I like about this episode the most is definitely just them just being the people, like I say, it started with the training, the way they just interacting with each other, just the stuff that is said, all the way through the episode where they then have to go on a mission, banding together, just seeing Mandalorians work together. Like, I think you said as well, like, we've never seen them like this. They're not fighting amongst each other, they're not trying to go after the dark saber, none of that. One of them has been taken away by do you never know the beast what it is? Just some dragon thing. And they're like, boom, go rescue it. This is what happened previously. This is going to go about it again. Bo-Katan, being the tactician that she is, comes out on top. The way they respect her. Because even the big guy as well. Obviously, I've had preconceived notions about man's this, man's that. But here, man's showing respect. He really knows who's what, who's where. It's like, all right, this is the way. Do this, do that. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
super sick.
One of the things that I do love about that, and this is why I'm always onto you when you're getting onto him, is because it's like when you're showing a character from another character's perspective, they can come off a way because that's the way they interact with them. But nothing about that guy to me ever said that he was like an overright arsehole, bruv. He's just been here, like, bruv, he's been looking after these man at home. These men have been doing outside missions and missions that are self-serving. So I can understand why he's combative when these men show up. So now it's showing him being all cool. I'm fine with it because these two have come back. They have been purified in the bath in the baths of Mandalore. So we're base level squashed. And due to the fact that they've kind of made a pseudo council and he's on it, and there's no set leader yet, he probably feels like being in there makes him as worthy as being one of the leaders as them. But obviously, after the events of this episode, we already know it can never be that. Do you know what I'm saying? Which isn't bad, bro, because he's a high-ranking officer, bro, and that's cool. One of the things I do love as well is when you man are talking about the training today, what I feel like today is just another day in the life of these man, which is really good because I love the fact that when the dragon took the boy, they immediately said, this is not the first time this has happened, because they want us to know that, bro, this is not a special mission. This is one of the you know what I'm saying? This is one of the dangers of where we live. So then they go after it, and I do love it. The working together, bro. They said no starfighting, no starfighting today. We got. I don't know. We got Mandos on dragons, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? We got Mandos chasing dragons, fam. And I love that. Obviously, Carl Weathers, like we're gonna keep saying, is his directing through that and how he kind of, who legitimately directs us through all of it, bro. There's the certain beasts through the canyon, the shots that we got, bro. Crazy, I want to go, bro.
It's bad.
Stupid, bruv. So I love all of that, man, and I love even the name of the episode. That the name of the episode's called The Foundling, yeah. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a Grogu heavy episode. And to be honest, I was like, I don't know how I feel about that because we've never really had one like that, like a full Grogu episode. And what they did was they subverted that and was like, no, it's about the foundlings, the actual foundling. All of them. Grogu, the other, the ones they find,
man's boy,
man's son. Like, it's about all of them. And when we're talking about spreading a culture, going back to what the armourer saying, and there you go. No, because they're dropping. They are dropping. They're dropping founding knowledge on us. They're dropping founding knowledge on us and Mandalorian knowledge throughout that whole episode. And that's what I was going to say about the culture. I love the armourer talking and telling everyone what's going on, but then that leads to my questions about the armourer, fam. And I've brought it up before about the armourer having spikes on her helmet, which is very reminiscent of Darth Maul's section of the people that followed him when he ruled Mandalore. That to me has always been a glaring fact, and I'm like, the armourer says so much and so little that we actually still don't know if we're talking about allegiance, we only know the armorer's allegiance relies to Mandalore. And we don't know what Mandalore that is. And we've got 4 people who all have been serving in the past a different Mandalore. So this thing's actually, I don't know how they're going to do it. If it's going to come to a head within the 4 of them, or if we're all just going to be like, we can make this work together, man. But I've just got bare questions about new questions about armor. Like,
there's definitely that mystery about her. Do you know what I'm saying? This is how they'll get us on that episode where it's just like mind blowing, because from the day that she's been introduced, everybody likes her. Everybody likes what she says. Her mannerisms, everything about her is likable. Until it gets that day, I don't know. We're gonna break some hearts.
The thing is, I don't even think it'd be a breaking heart situation. It'd just be a reveal. It'd be more of like a, okay, this is what you're on. Do you know what I'm saying? Because and to be honest, we don't even know if we're gonna get that. But I like that even if this turns out to be nothing, there's enough intrigue for you to ask the questions. Do you know what I'm saying? And her conversation with Bo-Katan at the end, where Bo-Katan's like, Bo-Katan, which is funny to me, opens up. We've not seen Bo-Katan open up. And and if you're gonna open up, the armorer. The armorer is so disarming in the amount of knowledge she has and how she presents it to you that you believe opening up to her is always correct. Always, and everybody does it. Everybody does. There's not a character who's had a conversation with an armorer who's not giving away information. I'm not going to say that you shouldn't have, but that you probably wouldn't give to someone else. Do you know what I'm saying? So when they have the conversation about the mythosaur and her saying she saw the mythosaur and she actually saw it, and then the armorer saying, being Mandalorian will let you see things. Do you know what I'm saying? And then she's like, yeah, but it's real. And she said, this is the way. What I translated that to is the armorer now knows where a mythosaur is. And if she needs to go see one, she knows where to find it. That's what I heard. Do you get what I'm saying? Because it's like, Bo-Katan, I think, is still searching for something. Yeah? In terms of like, maybe it's approval, maybe it's the nod to say, I think Bo-Katan's almost waiting for someone to be like, listen, man, you do it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you know, with her today, it felt like she had that sense of belonging because, like, right at the beginning when we're going through the training and she's walking past them man training, bro, you see her, she's soaking everything in. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, even the fact that she's questioning them, man, yo, when we eat, how do we take our helmets? Like, so you can clearly see she's been pulled in, and she's
bought in, bro.
Yeah,
she's
bought in. What I'm saying, and she's like, it's almost like she's enjoying it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like last episode, I was saying like, yo, not last episode, 2 episodes ago, she was just sitting on the throne by herself. Now she's not by herself anymore. She's amongst the people. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting how she's also going to be taking these information, especially when talking to the armorer.
Yeah, man.
I find it a bit worrying, to be honest, with the armorer, where she's like, oh, I've seen it, and she's like, yeah, you'll see many things or whatever, and no, she's like, no, I've actually seen it. It's like, the way, the answer of this is the way, it's almost like she don't believe it herself, the armorer. Because maybe, like you're saying, because maybe she hasn't seen it, so it's like...
I didn't take it like that, you know.
Really? I'm like...
See, the thing is, there was some, because when she first poses you will see lots of things in visions, I was like, okay, she doesn't believe her. And then when she doubled down and said, no, I actually saw it, I think the armorer's response of this is the way is the way of saying, okay. But for me, on the armorer's side, the armorer just collected that information. Do you know what I'm saying? And that is the only way to end the conversation, bro. There's no, like, where does that conversation lead? Because Bo-Katan's trying to find out, what does that mean that I actually saw the mythosaur? And guess who doesn't have the answer? The armorer doesn't. That's why this is the way is the response. And this is why I'm like, now if the armorer you can only want to investigate that as a Mandalorian. And especially as one who's got the position that the armorer has. You need to explore that, bro. So I want to see where that goes, bro.
I feel what both of you guys are saying are valid. Like, what Sam, like, I fully understand what Sam is saying because remember, no one believed that Mandalore was edible, yeah? So everyone was like, yo, that place is poison and everything. And then what you're saying is like, oh, we're opening up more doors and stuff. Like this, we're talking about exploring and being like a bit devious with the answers and stuff like that. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like, yeah, man, you guys might be...
I don't want anyone to feel like I think that the armorer is a deceptive character because I don't think the armorer is a deceptive character. I think a armorer is a very, I am what I say I am. But amongst that, there is got to be an objective, and her objective is to make Mandalore great again.
That's it.
So I feel like, like you said, everyone that was in that ship that time, all 4 of them are on the same mission. But it's like, how are they going to achieve it? Like you said, are they going to then
band together? Or beef it out again? And the thing is, for me, it's like beefing it out isn't crazy because you're Mandalorian, and that is the actual way. But at the same time, it's just like it's just not got to end in killing each other. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's not necessarily been the way. It hasn't. Like, they do fight just to see who is going to be right. But I think they do definitely need a collective board. The working together, and I was just happy seeing that in this episode, as well as the whole Grogu backstory that we got. Do you know what I'm saying? Which was cold. I feel like they've been teasing us with this since the trailer. So getting to see Grogu get saved, and these man do some mad, pod racing, star fighting through the city, through Coruscant. Hard, man.
I feel like the way they just transitioned into that was so cold as well. But yeah, man, being back in Coruscant and having the things that kind of brings Grogu into that specific night, like Order 66, super sick. Also, obviously they teased us with last episodes. They had the little mountain there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Thought that was cool. But yeah, man, like I feel like these flashbacks with Grogu are so good. We don't get spoiled by them, which I think is great because this is not about them. This is where about Grogu is now. But it also, like every now and again, kind of like pulls us into where Grogu's come from and how he's been pulled into these memories. I think that's super legit the way they're handling it.
Yeah, man. I'm loving like Grogu deepening his training, bruv, because like I was very much on the like, man, didn't want Grogu to be with Luke. I don't want him training as a Jedi. Like Grogu training as a Mandalorian and also embracing his ability to use the Force as a Mandalorian is something that I think is actually super key for the Mandalorian culture and Star Wars as a whole, actually, just right now, bro. Because it's like, we just need stuff we haven't seen before. We need new things. We need different things. And Grogu is, like, growing in a great way, man. So
you got to give him props as well from staying away from the whole Jedi stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, being just grounded and be like, okay, like, we know, like, Star Wars, whenever it comes to Force-sensitive stuff, we get excited. But you gotta respect them for what they're doing. Like even the way they give us the flashback. Right, this is what the second time in 3 seasons we've had flashback. That's super good because usually they go crazy. We've seen a couple episodes. You guys going crazy with it, but in Mandalore, you're handling it perfectly.
See, one of the things that I also love about this is that the way we're building up Mandalorians, it's like, and the way that Jedis and Sith or whatever are like kind of on the back burner right now makes perfect sense because the Mandalorians and the Jedi have been, do you know what I'm saying, enemies for generations. And if we're now living in a time where we're going to build Mandalore back up to further lead to a power struggle between like almost new Jedis and new Mandalorians when we get into like new episode movies or something like that, I think that's the perfect way to go, bruv. Because imagine if in episode 10, the new villain is Mandalorian, bro. Or, bruv, Think
because now they're now back in power.
Because we're here retrospectively rebuilding their worlds.
1,000%.
Yeah. So Grogu is 50 here, bro. In current time, if Yoda can grow to 900, Grogu's gonna be about 100 years old, bro, and probably with the Darksaber and probably leading Mandalore. You heard it here first.
That'll be so
bruv,
cold.
What are they doing here, bro?
Listen,
what are they doing here?
They've committed that he's a founder. He's one of them. I love it.
So, do you know what I'm saying? Like, these are the kind of threads and the things that I think that these man are really peppering. And in terms of like really redefining and shaping where Star Wars is going and where it's at now, this show, like when we look back, it's going to be like, yo, you see the Mandalorian, it changed the course of Star Wars, bro. Because this thing here is crazy, fam.
Even with the beasts.
Fam.
Even with the beasts, fam.
The beast, the direct, bro. What these lot are doing, and this is why when man spoke to Filoni, we had to talk about the directors, bro. Because what he's doing with bringing in this director, bringing in that director, giving directors chances, it gives me hope for what we can get in newer movies, bro. In terms of like, yo, we're not sticking to this formula and we're not forcing this to be like that. Like, we're doing new stuff and this is what they're doing here, man. So I just love everything about what this episode says about Mandalore, Star Wars as a whole, man. It's fight, bruv. We didn't even talk about, bruv, the shots, bro. There's one shot, yeah. They come out, they land, and they come out the ship, yeah. And it's just like 7 Mandalores. It just reminds me of like, I think it was the Magnificent Seven. It's like it's in every Western. Right. It's the shot of the sun in the back with the silhouette of the 7, and you could just the helm, bro. Oh, and then you see the bro 7, bro. 7. Obviously, bro. This like.
For me, it was the one going into the
sun. Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, this is bad. And then it was like, boom, the Mandalorian. I was like, it's only just started. Are you nuts?
Yeah. Fire, man.
Too much. Yeah, the shots were super sick.
Fire, man. And just like you were saying earlier, man, having them man work together, having them man on achieving a goal for the collective, bruv, is so needed for these people, bruv, man. So, bruv, this was just a beautiful episode, fam. fire, man. Fire. Easily got to be my favorite episode of the season so far. And I just want them to continue. Not that man's got to ask, but we know you man are going to continue shelling, but keep shelling. Keep shelling. And if we're talking about ratings,
Oh my God.
I mean,
Is there a way we can give like a bonus? You know, like you got like 5-star and then you got like Michelin.
This is the way.
the first ever This Is The Way on the
It
channel.
makes sense.
The first ever This Is
Yes!
The Way on the channel.
Yes, Mr. Blister.
Makes
Yo,
sense.
come on. Come
Yeah,
on.
I mean, there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo,
There you go.
that's
Unanimous,
hard.
This Is The Way. Do you know what we need? Do you know what, yeah? Comments. Just This Is The Way It. Just This Is The Way It all the way, fam. Just This Is The Way It. You know what I'm saying? But have you man got any final thoughts on the episode?
Oh man, I'm just grateful, man. I'm grateful for the feelings that I have, that I feel, because man loves Star Wars. Do you know what I'm saying? And when I get this, bruv, I'm just happy, bruv. Like,
You gotta say it, man.
man, just happy, bruv.
This is Star Wars, bro.
This is Star Wars, bruv.
This is cinema.
This
is cinema, bro.
And
Yo,
having those-
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
This is cinema. Yo.
And having
Jesus.
those free just spazzing out, bruv. There's no greater feeling, bruv. As a cyber nerd, I'm sorry, there's no greater feeling than man just spazzing out on the 1,000
Oh,
throughout, from the beginning to end, bruv. And then have the discussion. Nah, bruv. I love it, man.
Oh, so what you got, bro?
Yeah, man. Good episode. Good storytelling. Good cinematography. Just all like, bro. No chinks in this armor, you know. This is Beskar made, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is
Forged by Beskar, you know.
bro. Legit. Let's go, bro. More of these, please.
Nah, man. Listen, fire episode, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, if you want to watch a full reaction, head over to patreon.com/the Cyber Nerds. It's one that you don't want to miss. I can guarantee it. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hit the thumbs up because you know you love this. You know you love this. I'm J1 Further, the Cyber Nerds.
Yes.
Sam, Mr. Blitz.
See you on the next one.
Peace.